So the title of my work is Mindset of Escapist, and it's a 52 by 52 centimeter graphite drawing. I tried to illustrate a distorted version of reality in an art museum. I wanted to make the place feel elegant yet also familiar in a sense, and I tried to incorporate paintings that reflect the personal life of the individual. Making the place feel comforting encourages the individual to sort of escape into their own sense of a safe place. My intention for incorporating birds is to convey the fleeting feeling of escapism. The birds are positioned in the foreground of the composition, and I tried to incorporate more human-like features, making the eyes a little more of an almond shape instead of a circular, because I want to forge a connection between them and the audience. My main reason for incorporating the cast is to represent the concept of loneliness. I consider them more as solitary animals. The birds are positioned in the foreground of the piece to reflect the initial comfort and the sort of facade I wanted to convey. The whole environment itself is mainly constructed by the own person's solitude. I chose pencil and paper to illustrate a monotonous look behind it. Another reason is because it's mainly the resources I have at home. I personally like to draft the title first before I tried creating the piece, because I find creating the title, I'll be able to create a vague image of what I want the piece to be or what mediums I want to incorporate and experiment with. I was mainly inspired by Massimo Colonna and MC Esch's drawings and how they created their illusionary visuals and how they create their architecture. I really like that. What inspired me to set the environment as an art museum is because of Gianni Nelson's novel titled I'll Give You the Sun. I really like how she portrays the thinking process of one of her characters by reflecting the underlying thoughts and emotions of the character through an art museum and art titles at every single passage. I found it very hard to visualize what kind of buildings or the overall structure of the piece. I tried creating a digital collage with photos I found online. I just used it as a loose reference for me to create the piece. At first, it was really structured and too realistic in my opinion, so I tried to warp it using the circular frame. Then later, illustrate it using only graphite pencils to create the overall composition. What I find the most fun is discussing my potential ideas with peers and with my teacher as well. Even if it doesn't make sense, I feel like it's better than keeping it to yourself. What I find the most challenging is changing my working schedule. I really wanted to incorporate a line of print with my actual piece, actually. It was supposed to be sort of like a film strip or a storyboard kind of thing, and I wanted to reference it where the table is, but because of time restraints, I had to cancel the idea out. What I would say to students undertaking BC art is to brainstorm your ideas ahead of time and try to make up as many ideas as you can. Try to brainstorm ideas that will be easy to produce at home and some that can be pretty ambitious or experimental you want to try out. Try to take note how other creators depict their work and how they convey their messages. You can take inspiration and apply it to your own work.